Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, home in the Valley. Tonight, the Diamondbacks celebrate their World Championship history. It's throwback night. The D-backs playoff push continues against the Giants. Then it's the second annual alumni game presented by Denny's and in partnership with Sanderson Ford. Good afternoon from Chase Field, wearing the colors. It's throwback night. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly along the way. A welcome to the broadcast. Giants and Diamondbacks, second of a three-game series here, Bob, over the weekend. And so far, we've learned one thing. The D-backs, no matter what colors they wear, have issues beating the Giants lately.
Yeah, go figure. The Giants having a miserable season. They could possibly be the second team to go from the World Championship to last place in their own division, but they have handled the D-backs with ease this year. Any category you look at, the Giants have been better than the Diamondbacks. The last one is the one that's really galling. 6 wins right here at Chase Field. That's got to change tonight.
Well, they certainly had their chances last night, but the Giants, every time they needed a big defensive play, found ways to make it.
Yeah, had some opportunities with runners on base. It all started right in the first inning. Marco Scutaro with a great diving stop through from the seat of his pants. Pablo Sandoval snaring at A.J. Pollock, grounded down that third baseline with the bases loaded, keeping runners off the board once again. And then on a hit and run, unfortunately, they hit it right where the defenders are. An easy double play. Could have been a much different ball game last night had those balls been hit in a different location.
Wearing Sedona red last night, tonight the black, purple, and teal here with Trevor Cahill on the mound. And Trevor has been outstanding lately. A very encouraging start last week in Cincinnati, then the relief effort in Philadelphia.
I kind of liked his comments about the relief outing. He didn't really have much time to think about it. Just put your cleats on, go down there, warm up, and then before you knew it, he was in the ball game. Some of the best stuff we've seen from Trevor all season. Hopefully he'll finish the rest of this year strong.
Trevor Cahill and Ryan Vogelsong, the pitching matchup, second of a three-game series here on throwback night. And then after the ball game, it's the alumni game. The colors representing the Diamondbacks' World Championship history. More on throwback night from Chase Field coming up. You're watching the Arizona Diamondbacks only here on Fox Sports Arizona. The Golden Opportunity Sales Event is here. And by Fulton Homes. You're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Our exclusive coverage of Diamondbacks baseball continues here in Fox Sports Arizona from Chase Field. Game 2 of 3 on this late Saturday afternoon. The Diamondbacks taking on the San Francisco Giants. I'm Todd Walsh. Welcome back on the field outside the Arizona Diamondbacks dugout. As we talked about extensively on the pregame show just moments ago, it is, of course, Throwback Night, the second annual alumni game afterwards. And keep in mind, this is the second time this year the Diamondbacks are wearing the purple, teal, and black. We got a glimpse of it on the road for one game in Philadelphia. It was a retro night for the Philadelphia Phillies, as we found out that night, and again confirming here today, these guys, they dig the colors.
I grew up watching Diamondbacks with this uniform, so it's pretty neat, and it's definitely a really cool look. So I'm looking forward to putting it on and having some fun with it.
We haven't been around very long, but we've had some very successful teams in the winning ways of the Diamondbacks. So we definitely like to continue this with and like I said, with this kind of brings those memories back.
I like the jersey, you know, just the way the color stands out. So I wish we could play more than just a couple days with this uniform, but it's really awesome just to put that throwback on.
As I've said many times over the years here, purple is more than a color for the Arizona Diamondbacks organization and their fan base. Much more on that throughout the course of the night tonight. We'll take a break, though, when we come back up to the broadcast booth. Seabrook Hume and Bob Remley have the call. It is game 2, and Trevor Cahill is on the mound. Stick around. More to come from Chase Field right after this.
Backs wearing the throwback black alternate jersey and cap combo worn during the 1999 and 2000 seasons, featuring the former purple, black, and teal colors. They'll take on Bruce Bochy's Giants here in the second of a 3-game series as this 9-game homestand continues. And here is the Giants batting order.
Here's how Bochy's going to line them up tonight. Same lineup he had out there last night. Angel Pagan in the leadoff spot. Marco Scutero, Brandon Belt make up the top of the order. Buster Posey, Hunter Pence, Pablo Sandoval in the middle. Brandon Crawford, Gregor Blanco, and Ryan Vogelsong make up the bottom of the order.
20th start of the season for Trevor Cahill, his 21st appearance of the year, the outlier there. The first relief appearance of Trevor's career 1 week ago today, when only 2 days after throwing 7 innings of a one-run ball at Cincinnati. He came on for 4 full innings of emergency relief in Philadelphia and was the winning pitcher in what turned out to be the longest game in Diamondbacks history.
Well, it was really good in his 4 innings of work. Gave up only the 2 base hits of shutout baseball, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Just pounding that sinker on the corners of the plate and down around the knees.
Angel Pagan leads it off, and we are underway here on Throwback Night at Chase Field. There's the strike, 0-1. Todd Tishner, the home plate umpire. Pagan 263 and 3 homers, back last night after missing 84 games following surgery on his left hamstring, and he made an immediate impact last night. Had the leadoff double in his first at bat since May 25th and wound up scoring the game's only run.
And we wondered if maybe that hamstring surgery would affect his speed, which has always been a big part of Angel Pagan's game. It certainly didn't seem to bother him last night. Got around the bases pretty easily.
Good pitch there by Cahill. It's 1-2. In fact, last night was the first time in 21 years that the Giants scored in the top of the first inning in a 1-0 win. Last time that happened, September of '92 at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. That one is on the ground at second. Aaron Hill is there. 1 up, 1 away here in the first. Tim Lincecum got the start last night. Ryan Vogelsong tonight. Here is the defense behind Trevor Cahill.
Got Martin Prado out in left field tonight. Adam Eaton slides over to center. Gerardo Parra in his customary right field position. It'll be Eric Chavez and Willie Bloomquist on the left side of the infield. Aaron Hill, Paul Goldschmidt on the right side. Miguel Montero behind the plate again tonight for right-hander Trevor Cahill.
So a left field assignment for Prado. Chavez at third. Marco Scutero steps in against Trevor Cahill. 297 and 2 homers.
Really, if you think about these 2 pitchers in the game tonight, Trevor Cahill for the D-backs and Ryan Vogelsong for the Giants, they both have the same kind of game plan. Work the sinker on both sides of the plate, try to stay down, mix in an occasional off-speed pitch just to keep the hitters honest, but it's all about commanding that sinker on both sides of the plate.
Trevor may have a little more zip to those fastballs than Vogelsong, who's coming off a very serious hand injury. 1-1 to Scutero. Took something off there. Scutero out in front. 1-2. John Thorson pouncing on that one. The Khakis in action down the left field line.
Back in his jump seat, kind of like a flight attendant on a plane.
We're landing in Milwaukee at 7 in the morning. Oh, that was April. Scutero 0 for 3 with a sacrifice last night. That snapped a 5-game hit streak. Two and 2. How's it feel to have the old uni on there?
I'm just glad
Skip.
I could button it up. I saw a few of the guys at the past alumni games that had some issues getting all the buttons buttoned, so I was just glad to be able to get back into it.
Just foul. Doc Rosenblatt working the right field line tonight, our Golden Glovers. It's funny, I was driving into the ballpark today, and I noticed that it was a subtle change outside the park, in association with Throwback Night. Got the alumni game after the weekend. A little sort of decorating change outside. Not sure if you were aware. The 42-foot version of you out there now. This is the latest addition to the Chase Field Champions Legends area.
Boy, what a humbling experience. And really, the star of that picture is not me. It's that trophy and what it represents. But very proud to be up there holding that trophy.
There's a look through the panels here at Chase Field. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Nicely done. There's a walk to Scutero and 1 out. So it's an exciting day for the Diamondback family here.
Absolutely. I've said it a million times. I don't know if there will ever be or if there has ever been a more dedicated, motivated group of veteran ball players than that 2001 team. Those guys were single-minded in what they wanted to do from the first day of spring training until Game 7 of that World Series, and they did not let anything distract them from what they had to do to get there.
And we'll talk to many of those players over the course of the ball game as we, of course, look ahead to the alumni game coming up right after the ball game here. Don't forget, there is no TV on the alumni game. But admission at Chase Field is free if you have a ticket to this ball game. So you still have time to come on down to Chase Field, get a seat, watch the rest of this one, and then the alumni game afterward. 1-0 to Brandon Belt.
And from watching Mike Fetters on the pregame show, sounds like there may be some more hijinks in the game this afternoon.
Of course, it took Fed a few pitches to hit Gonzo last year, so Gonzo's sort of been lurking in the shadows for a year now, waiting for some payback. 2-0 to Belt, who had a 6-game hit streak snapped last night. Lifts that one high and deep in the air to center field. Near the pool is Adam Eaton. He's got it for the second out. That's something you don't want to see from Trevor. Fly ball outs.
Catcher, number 28,
Buster Posey. 302, 14 homers, 66 RBIs. He had a quiet night in the series opener here at Chase Field. 0 for 3 with a walk. He'll hit with 2 outs and Scudero on first. Been 34 games now without a home run for Buster Posey. He's got just 7 RBIs over that span. However, he has homered off Cahill this year, June 8th.
That's that cement mixer slider that just never took the break, hung up over the inside part of the plate, and Buster got every bit of that one.
1-1. Base hit. 2 on and 2 outs for Hunter Pence.
Another hanging breaking ball. Fortunately, this one on the outer part of the plate and up above the belt. Posey just slams it into right field for the the first hit, second base runner of the inning for the Giants.
And this is where you want to be careful and make sure you strand these runners, because Hunter Pence is swinging a hot bat lately. 278 on the year, but he's hit in 7 straight. 1 for 4 last night with a single. Scudero on second, Posey on first.
Yeah, Hunter Pence has been their Martin Prado lately. 11 for 26 with runners in scoring position over his last 17 games.
Chopped up the line to Chavez at third, but it's foul, says Todd Tishner. So nope, pardon me, ruled it a fair ball.
He just pounded it down into that soft dirt in front of home plate, just dribbled it up the third baseline. By the time Chavez could get to it, he had no play anywhere.
Tishner jumped out in front of the plate. Yep, just a fair ball, dribbles up the line. So now it's bases full for the Panda.
Watch that first pitch.
.270 and 10 homers for Sandoval. 1 for 3 with a single last night.
Over 43% of the time, Pablo Sandoval is going to hack at that first pitch, especially with runners in scoring position.
Well, he's on something of a tear right now, hitting almost .370 over his last 16 games. Not a good hitter career-wise with the bases full. Orange here. This is black and purple night. Lifted in the air to left field. Martin Prado is there. And Trevor Cahill strands the bases full. We'll head to the home half on throwback night at Chase Field. Phoenix, throwback night. Fans, you can bid on these actual game-worn autograph jerseys online at dbacks.com/auction. As we celebrate the 1999 and 2000 seasons with the former purple, black, and teal colors, Kirk Gibson. And this is the lineup for Gibby against Ryan Vogelsong and the Giants.
Willie Bloomquist back in the lineup, leading off tonight, followed by Adam Eaton and Paul Goldschmidt at the top of the order. Eric Chavez, Martin Prado, Aaron Hill in the middle looking to do some damage tonight. Miguel Montero, Gerardo Parra, and Trevor Cahill make up the bottom of the order.
Just the 14th start of the season for 36-year-old right-hander Ryan Vogelsong, the Giants pitching hero in last year's postseason. He was out more than 2 months with an injury to his right hand that was suffered near the end of May, and he didn't make it back until August 9th. This is only his 5th start since returning from the injury.
I mentioned it before. He relies heavily on the sinker on both sides of the plate. He'll sneak in an occasional four-seam fastball. He'll cut the fastball, throw a curve, throw a straight changeup. He's one of those veteran guys that will really read a hitter in the batter's box and then pitch accordingly.
Willie Bloomquist leads it off. Willie just back from injury himself, of course. 312 on the year. Now 0-1 for Vogelsong, who missed all of June and July, suffered a broken hand swinging a bat in a game against the Nationals May 20th. 2 broken bones near his right pinky, a dislocated knuckle that could not be popped back into place by the Giants medical staff. And so he had to have pins inserted into his right hand in an operation at Stanford. That one's fouled away. It's 0-2. Something of a freak mishap.
Well, that's exciting. If you've ever had a bone snapped back into place, it feels worse than it sounds.
Oh, I bet.
You're going to feel a little that wasn't so bad, was it? Oh, please.
Well, they discovered they couldn't actually even do that. That tells you how bad the injury had to be. So they had to go up to Stanford and have a procedure where they inserted pins into the hand. That couldn't have been fun either. Vogelsong was chasing an inside fastball from the Nationals' Craig Stammen in the 5th inning. He'd been struggling all year, was actually pitching his best game of the season, working on a 3-hit shutout. When he got hurt, needed the operation, and missed the next 2 months. On the ground to second, right at Marco Scutaro. A little trouble from the edge of the outfield grass, but he's got it for the first out. Defensively, the Giants look as such, and this is a familiar lineup from last night.
Yeah, the same way Bruce Bochy ran him out there last night. The Giants have made 96 errors on this season, next to the last in the National League. Blanco, Pagan, and Pence across the outfield. Sandoval, Crawford, Scutaro, and Belt third to first across the infield. Buster Posey behind the dish for veteran right-hander Ryan Vogelsong.
Adam Spanky Eaton steps in. And you see Depend there, well in on the grass at third, guarding against the bunt from Eaton. Vogelsong misses there, 1-0. Adam Eaton up to 270 now, a couple of home runs. He was 2 for 4 with a double last night, having an excellent month here. Another guy that missed a significant amount of time this year with injury, Adam Eaton. 1-1.
Boy, for the left-handed hitters in the D-backs lineup tonight, game plan should be to try to drive the ball to the gap in left center field. With that sinking fastball, if you try to pull it, you're just going to end up hitting a lot of easy ground balls to the right side of the infield.
Popped him up near the shortstop, Crawford. Blanco coming in from left, but Crawford's got it, 2 down. Paul Goldschmidt.
Boy, does he look good in the throwback unis. I wouldn't mind having him back in.
Goldie?
Yeah. He would have fit right in.
He looks good in any uniform as long as it's D-backs colors, that's for sure. Leading the National League in RBIs. One behind Pedro Alvarez in the home run chase. Goldie had an even 300 on the year, 31 homers and 104 RBIs. Looks at a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, obviously his play on the field would have allowed him to fit in with any team, but just the way he goes about his business, his attitude, his humble nature, the respect for the game, respect for his opponents, respect for his teammates, he would have been a great fit for that 0-1 team.
Where would you have played him?
Oh, I don't care. Somewhere.
Find a spot.
And Goldie's one of those guys. I bet if you told him, hey, listen, we got a first baseman coming up through the system, we think is going to be a big league player. We need you to move over to third base. We need you to move to right field. He would come back the next season and be one of the best third basemen or best right fielders in the National League.
On the ground is short. Crawford is there behind the bag. Makes a nice play. And that's the inning. We are through one here on Throwback Night. No score, Chase Field. Presenting here and rolling right into our AT&T Twitter poll question on Throwback Night. Second annual alumni game follows. Would you like to see a team of D-backs alumni play a team of Giants alumni? Gonzo, our nation turns its lonely eyes to you. It's a simple yes or no. Tweet your vote to @Fox Sports Arizona. You could come up with quite a Giants alumni team.
Oh,
Depends
sure.
how far back you want to go.
The big question is, where do you put Reggie Sanders? Where do you put Matt Williams? They played for both the Giants and the D-backs.
Tough call. And that's somewhat of a hot seat for you as well.
Nah, not anymore. I was very proud to be part of that organization as a player. All the rich history, all the great Hall of Famers that used to come down in spring training, sit in the clubhouse, talk to Willie McCovey and Willie Mays and Mike McCormick. And, the Giants for quite some time have done what the Diamondbacks are doing now, bringing back the old players.
On the ground is second, Aaron Hill. Tough play, one away. Here's a question. What about that guy? Where's he fit in? Where does he fit in?
That's a good question.
Left fielder,
I mean, he's one of the most beloved players in the Bay Area. They loved him through it all. Through all the suspicion and all the accusations and the books and the court appearances, they never lost their love for Barry.
It's funny because it's very much the same in Cincinnati, talking about Pete Rose.
Sure.
It's remarkable, the loyalty from the fan base. 1-0 to Gregor Blanco. That's lifted in the air to center field. Adam Eaton near the gap and left. 2 down. Brings up Vogelsong.
I think part of that love for Barry Bonds, obviously what he did on the field, but the fact that he was kind of a native, you know, when his dad Bobby was playing for the Giants. Barry was born out in San Francisco. He played at Sarah High School there in San Mateo. I mean, there are stories about Barry as a young player, Little League, and working his way up to the high school level, and some of the recreational fields that he played on and where he hit home runs across the street, off of this building, off of that building, over the track. Yeah, he was really kind of a legend in the Bay Area before he even got to the Giants.
And of course, an Arizona State Sun Devil. 1-1. See that padding on the batting glove of Ryan Vogelsong. We mentioned how he injured himself, that right hand. A couple of broken bones in that right hand. That big black pad on top of the batting glove there. He was injured on May 20th. Didn't get back until August 9th.
Well, you can imagine a broken hand on his throwing hand. Just the ability to grip the pitches the way you used to, get that same feel for your release point.
There's the strikeout. The first for Cahill. Bottom 2 coming up. No score at Chase Field.
Make a lot of money. Guys have great careers. They have all kinds of accolades and awards and all of that. But there's absolutely nothing like winning a World Series or the Stanley Cup or the championship of any sport. It's what we all play for. It's what we all live for as players. And you're very fortunate if you get a chance to win one.
That's Matt Williams. I'm Todd Walsh. Welcome back to Chase Field. That's our Geico quote of the game. And Steve and Bob, I actually threw one of my favorite quotes ever at Matt Williams, and it came from Fred Sherrill, the legendary coach of the Philadelphia Flyers back in the day, the Broad Street Bullies, who wrote on the blackboard prior to Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Steve, I'm sorry, against the Bruins, but I'm sure you know his quote. He said and wrote, "Win together today. We'll walk together forever." And Bob, I'll just tell you this, just being around your group that time in 2001, you talked about their single-mindedness, and even now they still have it. They still have it as a group. I see it whenever they get together. It is instant. And I've seen that many times over the years when I've been fortunate enough to cover teams that were the last team standing. And I think a lot of that has to do with the leadership, Steve, that's sitting right to your left.
It all starts from there, that's for sure. It changed from what I understand. The atmosphere almost overnight. The tone and the tenor, which is such a big part of that job, I'm told by men that have it and have had it.
Well, it's kind of funny how that works. If you have a strict disciplinarian as your manager, obviously, we need somebody that's a little lighter, a little looser. If you have a guy that's loose, a player's manager, we need somebody that cracks that whip. We need somebody to get on these guys. You know, I don't think fans are ever really happy until you win it all, and then they'll forgive the warts. Yeah, two of the best in the game right there going at it here tonight. Bruce Bochy, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Ray Ratto, great writer up in San Francisco, asked him one day, you're crazy like a fox, aren't you? You want people to think that you're not really cerebral and you're not really a baseball guy. And I can't really answer the way Bruce Bochy did, but he basically told Ratto that you're crazy. I'm just here doing my job, you know.
It's all part of the routine.
Yeah.
You don't win 2 World Series championships, though, without knowing what you're doing. And having really what probably is that secret ingredient. I mean, you can be a player's guy, you can be a strict disciplinarian. Both can work, certainly. But there has to be that extra 2 or 5% intangible that some guys have and other guys don't. Most don't, in fact, it would seem. One and 2 to Eric Chavez.
Any coach will tell you it's amazing how smart you get when you have good players. You know, you send a guy up there to pinch hit for a pitcher in the 5th inning of a game, and he hits a home run. You end up winning 1-0, and the pitcher goes away with a victory, even though he was mad at you for taking him out of the ball game. Pinch hitter's happy because he had an opportunity to contribute to the team. You try your best just to keep everybody happy and put them in situations where they can do what it is they do best.
Eric Chavez looking for his first hit since he came back from injury. Hitless in 10 plate appearances since the return from the DL. He has walked 3 times. Missed 15 games with that strained left knee. It's full, 3-2.
Vogelsong doing what he does, nibbling away at the corners, tried to throw that cutter just off the outside corner, get a little bit of late movement, maybe steal a strike away, but they did not get the call from Todd Tishner behind home plate.
Pop up to left, Blanco. Leadoff man retired here in the bottom of the 2nd. Brings up Martin Prado. A reminder, fans, every time a Diamondback player hits a home run this season, Fulton Homes will donate $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. You'll need that, Martin. 284 and 13 home runs.
Slight deviation from his normal routine. He doesn't regularly drop the bat.
Anything could happen at this point. Luchador masks in place. Martin Prado has hit safely in 6 straight games and 23 of his last 26. Batting over .360 during that span. Jumps on that one and lines a base hit into center field. Pagan cuts it off with a gap in right center. Prado aboard with a 1-out single.
We've had a little bit of fun with Martin Prado and his willingness to take that first strike before he even swings the bat, but to me that just displays the kind of confidence that he has in his own ability to hit with 1 strike or 2 strikes in an at-bat. Some guys don't like to get to that 2-strike count because they feel like they're going to see some nasty breaking pitches or the pitcher really has him at his mercy. Prado doesn't care. He knows he can hit with 1 strike, 2 strikes. Doesn't matter to him.
Aaron Hill. you have a particular philosophy on that? So some would say, well, why waste a good strike that you might be able to jump on?
Well, I like to see guys, especially the first at bat of a game, especially against a pitcher that maybe you don't know well. I like to see as many pitches as you possibly can, and then after that, it just depends on the game situation. If you've got runners in scoring position, be ready to jump on that first strike. If you need base runners, you're down by 3 or 4 or 5 runs late in the game, take till you get a strike. We need base runners, need guys to get on somehow. Ooh. Daily double down there at the bottom of that list, Prado and Hill.
Hitting 5 and 6 in the lineup tonight. And we learned about Will Venable earlier this week, about what a great second half he's had.
Unfortunately, yeah, we did.
0-2. Great crowd here today at Chase Field. This place is full, packed.
The opportunity to possibly come out and see Gonzo get hit by a pitch again drove him to the ticket office.
Turning him away. There's Gonzo working the radio side with the governor and Leo Gilmartin. Vogelsong misses there. It's 1-2.
Just to reinforce what we were saying about Martin Prado and his willingness to hit with 2 strikes. Last season, he was a .317 hitter when he had 2 strikes on him. That was the best in the major leagues.
Wow.
Driven to right. That ball's well hit. Hunter Pence backed up to the track. He's got it for the second out. Brings up Miguel Montero. Back with you tomorrow here on Fox Sports Arizona. Pregame show at 12:30 for the series finale, D-backs and Giants. Then it's 3 against the Blue Jays, Monday through Wednesday. Mickey, 231 and 9 homers. He had a pair of hits last night, was 2 for 4. First pitch swinging, fouls it back. Dinner Saturday night at the ballpark.
Some throwback cased meats.
They throw a few back. 0-1. I'm still getting over Pittsburgh and Philly. 3 days of Permanente Brothers. Whew. 3 days of Tony Luke's cheesesteaks. Crawl to that plane in Philly.
Thank goodness we didn't find the donut hut until the last day in Philly, or we'd have been eating donuts every morning.
Not often you walk by a sign that says chicken and donuts. No, I'm still full. 1-1. Didn't get the chicken. The donuts were awesome. The all-you-can-eat seats. Just behind the left field foul pole here at Chase Field. Fairly self-explanatory. Cold Stone, finish it off with some Cold Stone. That's a no-brainer. 2-1. Look out. Iggy's bat hit the front railing of the Giants dugout, came right at Bruce Bochy. Look. So much for the catching fraternity. Look out, Bruce.
Heads up, Boch. Well, this is not his first rodeo. He knows enough to duck down under the railing. Gibby having a laugh.
Everybody's just fine.
Bruce Bochy, during his playing career, was the definition of a backup catcher. He backed up Terry Kennedy for a long time. Benito Santiago was the starter in San Diego for a while, and Bochy was that guy that would get in there once every 2 weeks, try to hit the ball over the moon, and occasionally would do it.
Miggy strikes out. That ends the bottom of the second. We are through 2, no score.
You alongside Sean McLean, Regional Sales Manager for Safe Light Auto Glass. And Sean, you guys have had a very busy day out here at Chase Field, I know. And first of all, just when you think of Safe Light, it's a big company, but you have a large presence here in Phoenix, and you've made a big commitment to the community, haven't you?
Yes, we have, actually. Phoenix, Arizona is our second largest base for employees. We have over 900 here locally, and it's second right behind Columbus. So we have a special commitment to this community because we have such a large presence.
I know you're in the business of replacing windshields, but you found a way to raise money for charity while doing that. How did you do it?
We did. You know, we wanted to use our partnership with the Diamondbacks and reach out to the fans in the community and say, for every windshield that we replace, we'll donate $1 to the March of Dimes. And we did that over the course of this season, and luckily we raised $25,000 for a great cause.
That is fantastic. I know the Guthrie family was down there at March of Dimes, great cause, helping kids in need, babies. And your dad actually got to throw out the first pitch, right?
Yeah, he did, actually. So the Guthrie family are great ambassadors for the March of Dimes. And my brother and I had my dad out for his 60th birthday, and the two of them got to do the first pitch together, so it was fantastic.
Very nice. I know, again, I mentioned you were busy out here because Safe Light also had some partners out on the plaza. What was going on out there today?
Yeah, there were a couple things going on. We were doing a car seat safety inspection for kids. So we inspected 70 vehicles today and combined 200 this year by partnering with KTAR, Farmers Insurance, which is here with us tonight. And we were able to successfully inspect those and get those kids home safe.
Great work, Sean, no question about it. I know a lot of people, I mean, you know, when you have kids who come home from the hospital, you think you have that car seat straight, but you're not really sure. So great work in the community, and we appreciate your time today. Sean McLean from Safe Light Auto Glass. Thanks so much, Sean.
Thank you, Jody. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Thanks, Jody, and congratulations and thank you. Great job there by Safe Light Auto Glass, BB. $25,000 for the March of Dimes. Well done.
Outstanding. Yeah, and you can't emphasize enough the safety with those kids' car seats.
Comes to third, Eric Chavez. A little barehand play for Eric, and this is a good sign here, Bob. Trevor Cahill throwing a lot of ground balls.
That's when he's at his best. He has given up a couple of fly ball outs, but basically to the low ball hitters in the Giants lineup that went down and golfed that sinker in the air. Good movement so far, keeping the ball out of the middle.
Aaron Hill has made 3 putouts at second. Chavez at third. Now with the 2 down in the third, here's Brandon Bell to fly to center his first 10. drives that one for a base hit to center field. Giants have their third hit and a 2-out base runner.
D-backs just content to keep Brandon Belt in the building. This is a guy that has really hurt the Diamondbacks this year and last year with the long ball.
Brings up Buster Posey. He singled his first time up. Buster Posey's season peaked July 20th this year. At that point, he was hitting .326 for the year. Since then, however, he's hit only about .230 without a home run. In fact, since July the 20th, he's got only 3 extra base hits, all doubles. Chops that one up the line. That's a fair ball. Nice play by Chavez, and they strand the 2-out single by Belts. We'll head to the home half of the third. CenturyLink, your link to what's next on Throwback Night here at Chase Field. Todd Walsh joined by former D-back great Steve Finley when we return.
As he threw out the ceremonial first pitch, joined now by former center fielder Steve Finley on Throwback Night, the alumni game coming up. First of all, let's just get to the first pitch. You got out to the mound, you got to the rubber, and then you turned and you looked to home plate, and I saw that look on your face. That was a lot farther away than you thought, right?
Farthest I've thrown a ball in a long time. I was just like, okay, I was gauging distance. Don't throw it over his head. Don't bounce it to somewhere in the middle of all that.
It worked. It worked. You did a very deep breath. We noticed that. We caught you. All right, you tell me, what's it like to come back here? This is the second annual now, the alumni game, and I know that you guys are a special group. You have that bond that will last forever, don't you?
It is. It's great to see the guys, and even guys that we didn't play with that played in other eras while we were here. It's just great to see everybody. You kind of fall back into those same routines of ribbing each other a little bit. But more importantly, it's good to get out here and see the fans again and the support they gave us, the support they gave me stepping out to throw the first pitch. It's just a great feeling. When you're done playing, you don't get too many opportunities to kind of relive moments, and it kind of gives us a chance to relive some great moments that we had here.
Speaking of ribbing, I will tell you that Matt Williams described the workout today in a couple of sentences. He said that Reggie Sanders was late and that Gonzo got too much applause and that you, as per usual, took too many hacks in the cage. Is that true? Is that more things change, they stay the same?
I didn't really factor in any of that. I just hit every ball by the label, so I needed more hits just so I could get it over the infield. But it was fun. It was fun. It was felt like Florida spring training with all the heat and humidity. But I think we might be ahead of ourselves a little bit because your body got really loose, and so everybody felt pretty good. We'll see how we respond tonight after we try to crank it up again.
Before we let you go, your manager, Bob Brenly, of course, back in the broadcast booth, he was just talking about the single-mindedness of your team and the focus that you had in 01. You and I have talked about that over the years, but can you just go back to that, Steve? I just felt like nothing was ever going to get in the way of that team winning, and that included some pretty traumatic and dramatic things that happened to us globally. You guys were going to win the World Series. It just felt that way all year, did it?
That was our mindset from spring training, and Bob really ingrained that in our head. And we looked around the room and we saw we had the talent, and he led us right there. And, you know, from the bullpen to the bench players to the guys on the field, guys who stepped in when guys got hurt, there wasn't an ego anywhere in the clubhouse, and that's one of the reasons we made it to the World Series and won it, because when we stepped through that clubhouse door, we checked our ego and did whatever it took to win the game that day. It didn't matter who was the hero.
I lied. One last question. If you could tell A.J. Pollock or Adam Eaton one thing about playing center field here, what would you tell them?
It's hard to say one thing about playing center field here. I mean, it's a great home field advantage. Learn every corner, learn the outfield wall. It's a great place to play center field because you see the ball good, and make your home field advantage your home field advantage.
Sage advice. Thanks, Steve.
You got it.
Steve Finley, Bob, I know a big play there, but I'll tell you this, I haven't seen anybody play that position quite like Steve Finley did under your tutelage not too very long ago.
Well, as an organization, we've been very blessed to have a couple of the best center fielders to ever put a glove on. Devon White very early on in the Diamondbacks' history. Steve Finley, while I was managing the ball club, we've seen A.J. Pollock and Gerardo Parra this year play center field at times. It's not an easy position to play in this ballpark. You've got the overhangs out there on the terrace. You've got the odd outfield angles out there on the wall. But, well, I'll tell you, every day I wrote Steve Finley's name in that lineup, I felt sure that nothing was going to drop out in center, right center, or left center.
Well, apparently you had to get him out of the cage first. What was that all about?
This guy's hit. I mean, God, Lord. we had to hide the ball sometimes. You know, occasionally you get into this point of the season and it's dog days and guys are tired physically and mentally, but they were just such slaves to their routine. They were going to get in that cage and they were going to hit and hit and hit some more.
Two-out single there by Willie Bloomquist.
It got to the place where we literally had to hide the balls in the batting cage so guys wouldn't go in there and hit before our regular BP on the field.
We go inside the purple vault for a look at Steve Finley. May 31, 2000.
That's out number 1, 2, and 3.
That's no just routine 5-4-3 around the horn triple play. That's a big league triple play.
That's a bunch of guys being right where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be there.
Bloomquist on first, 2 down, Adam Eaton. Popped up to short his first time up. And now it's Adam Eaton out there, at least today in center field, where Steve Finley used to roam. Diamondbacks now blessed to have a whole group of very talented defensive outfielders at all 3 spots. And some depth there as well.
I was remiss in not mentioning Chris Young as another D-back center fielder that could go get him. Covered a lot of ground out there. Had some great games in this ballpark.
Two 2-0.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Those colors don't run. What a story.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to hear that from the beginning. 2-1. You got a full house here today. This is great. Diamondback Nation has come out in full force here. Travis Lee is here. Travis will be playing first base for the white team, batting 5th behind Reggie Sanders in the alumni game.
Saw Shea Hillenbrand in the background there, was kind enough to join us in the booth earlier this week.
Center field, Pagan has to stop and let it bounce. Adam Eaton's aboard. Back-to-back 2-out singles for the Diamondbacks, and here comes Goldie. Goldie grounded out to short his first time up. Two on and two out for Paul Goldschmidt. He's hit safely in 3 straight games and 11 of his last 12. He's hitting almost 370 over that span. Good speed on the bases for the Diamondbacks. 2 down. Willie Bloomquist at second, Adam Eaton at first. Each team with 3 hits. Two 2-0. Goldie on base twice last night with a walk and a single. Not a play.
Talk about it all the time. The kind of respect that Paul Goldschmidt gets from opposing pitchers. A 2-0 pitch and rolled a curveball up there. Single season RBI leaders all time. Goldie creeping up that list.
104 leads the National League. 2-1. Three and 1. This can't be any fun if you're a pitcher.
Well, I was just thinking the same thing, because if you lose Goldie, you got to deal with Eric Chavez, a tough left-handed hitter, and Martin Prado and Aaron Hill, 2 of the hottest hitters in baseball.
Ball 4, bases full. 2 singles and a walk, all with 2 outs, and here comes Eric Chavez. Chavez flying out to left his first time up. Boy, now would be a great time for his first base hit since he came off the DL. Willie Bloomquist, the runner at third, Adam Eaton at second, Paul Goldschmidt at first. These two have seen each other before. We go back to April 22nd, AT&T Park. At opposite field power.
All right, we saw a lot of that in the early going from Eric Chavez, driving that ball to left center and left field with authority. That's not an easy place to hit the ball out to the opposite field.
Not in April.
No.
Cold. 50 pitches now for Vogelsong, 32 for strikes. He's worked himself into a 2-out mess here. On the ground, Belt has it. The throw pulls Crawford on the bag, but they get the foot down in time to get the force on Goldie, and that ends the inning. So Vogelsong dodges a bullet there. We are through 3, no score. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By Mazda, we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. And by Lone Butte Casino, you're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. Back at Chase Field on Throwback Night. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly, Todd Walsh, Jody Jackson, cavalcade of stars along the way. Fourth inning here, Trevor Cahill and Ryan Vogelsong. Both scoreless, each has allowed 3 hits, all singles. Cahill will work to Hunter Pence, Pablo Sandoval, and Brandon Crawford here to open the San Francisco fourth. And so far, another encouraging start here for Trevor Cahill. Pence singled his first time up, little dribbler up the third baseline. And you go back to that rough outing that Cahill had in Atlanta June 30th, after which he was shut down with a right hip contusion. At that point, he'd gone 0-6 in his previous 8 starts. The ERA was near 8, and he was out from June 30th until August 17th. He missed a month and a half. But since he's come back, 2-0 in 3 appearances. The ERA's under 3. And he looks so far, Bob, to be maintaining that newfound form so far today.
Yeah, and it looks like he's just relying on his bread and butter pitch a lot more than he did in the early part of the season.
Hard to Shabby at third. Nice easy throw. 6 Gold Gloves, 1 up, 1 down in the fourth.
It seemed like there were times early in the season where Cahill just tried to force that cut fastball in there. And for a guy that has such a heavy sinking two-seam fastball, it just seemed like he was fighting against himself to try to make the ball do something that it didn't naturally want to do. He made a lot of mistakes in the middle of the plate with that pitch, but since coming back off the DL, just relying on the sinker, the changeup, occasional slider.
Pablo Sandoval flying out to left his first time. And we'd heard Will Nieves tell us earlier this year that Trevor, when he's catching him in the bullpen, is nasty, just filthy before games. When he goes out to the mound, it then suddenly tries to do too much, tries to put a little extra on those pitches, and that's where it kind of backfires on him.
Now this would be a big inning for Trevor to get through unscathed. 30 of the 57 runs allowed by Trevor Cahill this season have come in the third and fourth inning of ball games. 20 in the third, 10 in the fourth.
Big swing and a miss there.
It's usually right around the second time through the lineup. After they've seen him one at bat, coming back up the second time, you see the numbers right there. The third and fourth inning have given him some issues in the past.
Base hit for Sandoval. A lot of balls on the ground here. I'm not quite sure how he was able to make contact with this one, but we've seen him do that before.
He picks this one right out of the dirt. You saw Miguel Montero was ready to block that pitch in the dirt, and somehow Sandoval gets his bat on it, guides it through that right side of the infield for a base hit.
Well, 6 of the last 7 outs for Trevor have been either ground balls. There's a strikeout thrown in there, so he did have a couple of fly balls early, but ever since really the start of the second inning, everything's been on the ground, and in that case, he just found a hole there and went to right for a base hit. The curse of the sinker ball pitchers you've talked about
That's
before.
it. Yeah, you can't control where those ground balls go. You just want to get grounders and hope that you have a defender in the vicinity.
Crawford grounded to Aaron Hill his first time up, 0 for 1. He was 0 for 4 last night. Kirk Gibson has always said the key for Trevor Cahill, just let his ball move. Great movement on it. Hard to center up with the bat. Just let it do its thing.
Sounds like the same advice we gave to Brandon Webb when he made his major league debut at Old Shea Stadium in New York. Just aim that sinker right at the catcher's mask and let it do what it does.
Catcher's mask. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's right about where you want that sinker to start, right where Miggy's mask is right now, and then have the downward away movement from a left-hander, take it toward that outside corner. Now, if you prove you can command that pitch, then you start scooting it over and working it on the corners. There you see Webby.
We've had Brandon up here a few times this year. Throwing that sinker. 3-1. Ball 4. Single and a walk with 1 out. Have put 2 on for the Giants, and here comes Gregor Blanco. Second walk issued by Trevor Cahill.
Left fielder Gregor Blanco.
Blanco flying to center his first time. On the ground at second, Aaron Hill, Willie Bloomquist, Paul Goldschmidt, nice backhanded scoop by Goldie, and they roll the double play. And they get out of trouble. We'll go to the home half of the 4th. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Coming up for the Diamondbacks to lead off the 4th, the red-hot Martin Prado.
This just in, Greg Swindell, the lefty, has been traded, I want to get this right, from the red team to the white team for future considerations. You just found out about this literally as I'm talking to you?
Well, the pleasures of social media, I guess. Yeah, world order, right? Sitting here, getting my game plan to face the white lineup. Now I got to face I don't want to face the red lineup.
Well, it adds a little intrigue to it because Mike Fetters was on our pregame show, Greg, and he said that there would be no more hijinks on the mound, no more inside chin music, and then he winked at the camera. So I'm assuming it's going to happen again, which means will you retaliate in support of Luis Gonzalez?
Man, like I said, I was getting my game plan ready to face a different team. This just changes everything. No, there won't be any retaliation.
Hey, listen, on a serious note, again, it's the running theme, but to be back here in this building, you're going to put a uniform on, you get a chance to hang out with your team. These are your brothers, aren't they?
Oh, that's what it's all about. I mean, the workout this morning, just to get back. The game is fun, but being around the guys and seeing the families, the kids are growing up, everybody's getting bigger, but being around the guys and the camaraderie and just hanging out, that's really what it's all about.
You tell me, what was the most unique aspect of that team, the team that was the last team standing, in your opinion, when you look back on it?
Well, usually you're on a team where you don't get along with someone. Everybody, I mean, because you're together a lot. Everybody on that team got along. It was just a good group of guys who took. We did what we had to in the locker room to take, if anything happened, and that's what I mean. It was just a great bunch of guys to hang out with and win.
Extra bases here for the Diamondbacks, and there's a stand-up double. Before I let you go and get back to the game, Greg, a quick word on your manager, Bob Brumley. There's a 5,000-foot likeness of him now out there in the Legends District. What do you remember most about Bob?
Oh, Bob, he gave me the ball. I mean, personally, he let me pitch. He let us play the game, let us kind of control the game. When he needed to step in, he did. And that's what good managers do. They let the clubhouse control themselves. It wasn't seen too much, but when you talked to him, you knew it was something serious, and just did a great job of just controlling everything.
Good luck. It's great to see you. Go get your game face on again for the other side, okay?
I got to get on the social media and a scouting report somewhere.
We'll get on it. All right, guys, back to you.
He's on Twitter all the time. I can vouch for that. Can't get him off that thing. Prado will lead off double here in the fourth. He's 2 for 2, leading the National League in hits and RBI since the All-Star break, and he hasn't skipped a beat. Aaron Hill, base hit. They'll stop Prado at third. The Prado-Hill combo, 5 and 6 here today. Couple of hits to lead off the fourth against Ryan Vogelsong.
Well, they're the two hottest hitters, two of the hottest hitters in the National League for a reason. For whatever reason. Why is Sandoval playing in front of the base down there? You think Aaron Hill's going to bunt for a base hit or something?
I've seen Aaron Hill pull a ball once or twice.
Oh, man. He should have been playing with his heels on the outfield grass, but had no range whatsoever playing that shallow, and Aaron Hill took advantage.
Chance here for the Diamondbacks. Miguel Montero struck out his first time. By the way, that white team staff, Corey, Descends, Lopez, Nunez, now Swindell.
Got to get a lefty in there, balance it out a little bit. You know, I have to look it up to be sure, but my recollection is that Greg Swindell and Troy Brohan held Barry Bonds hitless.
Miggy finds a gap. It drops into right center. Prado will score, and Aaron Hill heads for third. RBI single for Miguel Montero. And it's a 1-0 Diamondbacks lead. 35th RBI for Miggy. 3 straight hits to open the fourth.
Yeah, it's good to see for Miggy, really trying to force his way back into the action. Had a rough at bat with the bases loaded last night against Tim Lincecum, but comes through here. The ball headed toward that gap in right center field. Hunter Pence got over there to cut it off, but D-backs still have runners on the corners with nobody out.
And Gerardo Parra coming to the plate. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, out to the mound. That's 6 hits now for the Diamondbacks, 4 for the Giants, and the game's first run is on the board. Here's Parra, who grounded out his first time.
Why does it seem like it's been much longer? But that's the first run the Diamondbacks have scored in the last 15 innings.
Shutout last night, 1-0. Yeah, last time they scored, they got 1 in the 6th in the series finale against the Padres. Drives that one to right. Hunter Pence tracks it down. Aaron Hill, he will tag, and he will score, and it's 2-0 Diamondbacks. RBI for Parra, number 40 on the year. Trevor Cahill.
Giants expecting a bunt. Cahill showing bunt on that pickoff attempt to first base. Once again, Sandoval way in front of the bag at third base.
Sandoval and Belt both crashing in from the corners. Up the line. Nice bunt by Trevor. Belt has only one play. Miggy moves to second, 2 down. And Willie Bloomquist comes up.
Hey, some sack bunts are better than others. With Miggy running at first base, you've got to put down a pretty good bunt to advance him on to second base, and Cahill did it perfectly that time. Deadened that ball right down the first base line. Brandon Belt charging in after holding on Miguel Montero at first, has no other play and just apply the tag. Miggy motors into second.
And here's Willie, who singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Jumps on the first pitch, and that one gets through. They will wave Montero. Here's the throw. It's cut off. The run scores. Bloomquist is hung up. He's tagged out, but the run comes across, and the Diamondbacks are through 4 with a 3-0 lead. Miguel Montero drives in the game's first run. The Diamondbacks tack on 2 more, and they lead it 3-0.
Field during any Diamondbacks regular season home game. Brandon Belt may have done the Diamondbacks a huge favor as Miguel Montero came around to score on that Willie Bloomquist base hit into center field. Miggy got it started with his own RBI base hit, but get a real good look at it here. Ball grounded into center field. Angel Pagan charging. He has the ball before Miguel gets to third base. That's usually the yardstick. Normally you would stop that guy. If Belt lets that ball go through, they've got Miguel out at home plate by a wide margin.
Miggy's a lot of things. Fast is not one of them. And he appeared to be a dead duck at the plate, but Belt certainly, it appeared, Bob, you're right, did the Diamondbacks a favor there.
And you got to give some credit to Willie Bloomquist as well. He rounded first base hard. He got in Brandon Belt's line of vision there, and Belt saw, well, we can get that out for sure. I don't know what's going on behind me. Belt cut it off, and they were able to get Bloomquist, but not before Miguel Montero scored the third run of the game.
Great crowd here at Chase Field on throwback night. Diamondbacks have 7 hits. They lead it 3-0 as we start the 5th. And Ryan Vogelsong leads it off against Trevor Cahill. Vogelsong struck out his first time. Four hits in that inning for the D-backs, including 3 in a row. Prado, Hill, and Montero started it off with nobody out. Base hit for Vogelsong. Leadoff man on for the Giants. Here's Angel Pagan. Pagan so far has twice grounded out to Aaron Hill at second. He's 0 for 2. Angel Pagan was rehabbing a hamstring injury in the minor leagues, had to be carted off the field after aggravating the injury so badly. He wound up needing surgery a few days later. Initially hurt himself on an inside the park home run May 25th, and last night he was back after missing 84 games. And from what we saw last night, the injury is a non-issue. He appeared to be moving very well.
Started the ball game last night with a double to the gap in right center. Looked like he had thoughts about possibly going for third base, but held up at second and later came around to score after a sac bunt and then a sac fly.
Because of the serious leg injuries he's had this year, Bruce Bochy had said this is going to be an important offseason for Pagan. At bats in September will go a long way to helping him in the long run in terms of recovering game speed. This was Pagan on the move last night with that leadoff double. First game back after 84 games out with a hamstring injury, surgery in fact, and looks pretty good here.
Able to really accelerate after he hit the bag there at first. That's when I mentioned he had thoughts about going for third base, but with nobody out in the inning, he was content to just drop anchor there at second base. But yeah, no sign of a limp, not favoring the leg, nothing.
And Trevor Cahill, after being handed a 3-0 lead, gave up a single to the pitcher. And now he's gone 3-2 on Pagan. That one caught a piece of Todd Tichenor, it appeared. And Pagan's aboarded first.
Right hand possibly. You see that hand exposed out there. Actually got him up in the forearm that time, up above the wrist. We just saw that on the last road trip. I don't recall who the home plate umpire was, but somebody got drilled in very similar fashion.
And so it's a single and a walk to lead off the fifth for the Giants. Vogelsong at second and Pagan at first. Marco Scutaro comes up as they give Todd Tichenor some time to recover behind the plate. A little meeting at the mound. Scutaro walked in the first and grounded to third his last time up. He's 0 for 1.
It goes without saying, this is not the way you would script this inning. You're facing the opposing pitcher in that 9 spot to lead off the inning. You'd like to think that's a quick, easy out, and then you go to work on the top of the order. But a base hit by Vogelsong, a walk to the leadoff hitter Pagan. Now you've got to work your way through the middle of this Giants order with runners on base.
Well, Cahill has 7 ground ball outs, and he's looking to throw one right here, try and turn 2. There it is. Bloomquist, Hill, Goldie, they roll it. Vogelsong to third, 2 down. I love it when a plan comes together.
That's just what you like to see, a hard hit ball right at one of your middle infielders, in this case Willie Bloomquist. The underhand shovel toss on to Aaron Hill, who's got plenty of time to complete that relay. Nicely done.
Two big outs there. Vogelsong at third, and here's Belt, who singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. 0-1. Brandon Belt, after hitting .260 in the first half of the season, having a very good second half, hitting .320 since the All-Star break. Little roller to second. Nice job by Trevor Cahill. He puts the first 2 on in the inning, gets 2 ground balls, and gets out of trouble. We head to the home half of the fifth. It's 3-0 Diamondbacks.
the scenes of the alumni game. We are joined by catcher Kelly Stinnett, who is catching for Team Red. His starting pitcher is Mike Morgan. Bob Brindley, I'm sure you're going to be shocked to hear this. So the Mo Man, you guys are already going over signals and situations, and you've already talked about your first 3 batters.
Oh yeah, we scouted them out. You know, we're gonna sink the ball in Spivey a little bit, try to roll it over on Centron, maybe keep it away, maybe hit Gonzo in the ribs again. Just kind of send a message to the rest of the team that we're here for business.
And you are like the Bruce Kim to Mark Fidrich, right? Mo Man requested you.
That's what I heard, because he threw a shutout inning last year, and I was catching him, so he wants to keep it consistent.
In 2013, that's a rare thing that you'd still be requested, right?
Well, it's an honor. It really is an honor. Being this old and still be able to catch a ball.
What's it like though, being around here and being around the guys and just the camaraderie that it's obvious when you walk into a room like this, or even the clubhouse at Salt River?
It's great, man. You walk in, get ready to go to the ballpark, you still get the goosebumps. That's why you're here, and to catch up with the guys and see what they're doing, and anything that they can help me out, I can help them out. Just kind of further our career after the game.
My pseudo career as a marketing guy, I've said this a couple of years now. Purple is more than a color to Diamondbacks fans. Is it the same way for players?
Oh yeah, I mean we love the purple. We love to see the the old black tops like tonight. I mean it's great. My kids actually drug out a couple of my old black ones tonight, and they're wearing them around here.
That's awesome. Enjoy yourself. We'll be peering in at your signs on Mike Morgan. Okay.
It sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks, Todd.
Good luck and Godspeed. God, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, guys. Adam Eaton leads off the bottom of the 5th here against Ryan Vogelsong. 7 hits for the Diamondbacks, 5 for the Giants. So it's Morgan on the mound to start that one, huh?
Yeah, Mo Man's liable to throw about 100 pitches in the bullpen warming up.
Carry him out of there before the start. Yeah, we mentioned the white team rotation. Reynoso starts that game. Morgan starts for the red team. Behind him, Adamson, Ortiz, Randolph, Prinz, and Fetters. Bounce to second base, Scudero. 1 out here in the 5th. The Sports and Highlights show you've been waiting for, fans, is already here. It's Fox Sports Live. Jay Onright, Dan O'Toole. They're joined by Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton, Andy Roddick, Carissa Thompson. They bring you everything you need to know about the world of sports. Fox Sports Live, airing nightly on Fox Sports 1. For channel listings, go to foxsports1.com. Here's Goldie. He has grounded out and walked 0 for 1. Throwback night here. 2nd annual alumni game follows. The alumni game not on television, so you have to come out to Chase Field. Still buy a ticket here. You get into the alumni game free with a ticket to this ball game. And fans, you can bid on these actual game-worn autographed jerseys online at dbacks.com/auction. That one is hit high in the air to left. Blanco at the wall. He's got enough room. And that's the 2nd out.
That ought to count for something, the amount of hang time that fly ball had.
That was like a punt that hits Jerry Jones's scoreboard at Cowboy Stadium.
We're just talking about millimeters on the bat, turning that high fly ball to the warning track into somebody's salad up there in Friday's Front Row Sports Grill.
Eric Chavez 0 for 2.
Hanging change up. Oh. Just got under it a little bit.
Yeah, you won't have much success throwing pitches there to Paul Goldschmidt. Shabby lines that to Pagan in center. Right at him, and that's the 3rd out. We are through 5. Diamondbacks lead the Giants 3-0. Participating Circle K locations. Purchase 2 28-ounce Gatorade or G2 thirst quenchers for your chance to sign a one-day contract at your very own press conference. You can attend batting practice, get a customized jersey, and much more. Gatorade, win from within. Some hijinks in the Legends race as Reggie Sanders tried to tackle 3 guys at once.
And did it.
Yes, he did. Big win for Matt Williams. Here's Matt enjoying his victory. Reggie was down there.
Leading off for San Francisco, catcher Buster Posey.
On a ground balls, that is his formula for success.
That's exactly what you like to see with Trevor Cahill on the mound. As I mentioned, the flyouts, one came to Brandon Belt, real good low ball hitter. One came to Pablo Sandoval, a deadly low ball hitter. And where was the other fly ball? Gregor Blanco, another low ball hitter.
Buster Posey, yeah. Trevor put 2 on in the 4th, got a double play ball. Put 2 on in the 5th, got a double play ball. Critical. Posey singled back in the 1st, 1 for 2. Current theme with Trevor Cahill all season long. Talked to Charles Nagy about this before the game. Was arm slot. Keep hearing the arm slot comes and goes. It's just got to find a consistent place, get into a groove. There's Charles. Just before he was activated from the DL earlier this month, the Diamondbacks were thrilled with what they saw from Cahill in some bullpen sessions. Kurt Gibson said he even stood in there facing Cahill, knowing that Trevor has worked on getting the arm up a little bit higher, which is where they want it. It had been dropping down, and then he gets kind of all jammed up.
It's kind of a funny phenomenon with a sinker ball pitcher. The lower your arm gets, the flatter the sinker gets. You don't get the same kind of downward movement on the pitch because of the physics on the rotation of the baseball and the release point and the arm angle and all that stuff.
There's another ground ball out, huh?
Love it. Love it.
Well, the arm slot apparently is right where it should be.
But you get a little bit too low in that arm slot, and now instead of having the right kind of rotation on the ball to make it go down, it just stays on the same plane and is very flat in the hitting zone. Those are the ones that get hit hard.
Well, if he can just keep it right here, he's capable of this. We've seen it sporadically over the course of this year, and you forget, Bob, he's been around so long, he's still only 25. He's thrown a lot of major league innings, been around for a while, came up at a very young age in the Oakland system. And he's been a horse, an innings eater. 200 innings a year up until this season. And you just kind of feel like if he can get comfortable with that release point in the arm slot, he can have one of those big Brandon Webb type years.
Yeah. Get to the place where he can repeat his mechanics pitch after pitch, start after start.
Another ground ball. It gets under the glove of Willie Bloomquist, and Hunter Pence has a one-out single. Now, some of these are occasionally going to squeak through.
Third baseman Pablo Sandoval.
That time a breaking ball up in the zone. Pence just kind of tomahawks it toward the left side of the field, just under the glove of Willie Bloomquist, on into left center for a base hit.
So Trevor has had double play balls in his last 2 innings. We'll see if he's got one more in his bag of tricks as Pablo Sandoval steps up. Out of play. Sandoval, a switch hitter. He's about 25 points better from the left-hand side. That's where he's got 9 of his 10 home runs this year. That skips away from Miguel Montero, and that's the other part of a sinker ball pitcher, right? Occasionally you're going to be diving in the dirt.
We mentioned Tim Lincecum doing this to Buster Posey last night, and he called them scud missiles. And that time Trevor Cahill fired a scud at Miggy. That ball hit way out in front of home plate. Scoots over toward the Giants on deck circle. Pence advances into scoring position at second base.
And the Diamondbacks, with so many guys that throw these two-seam sinking fastballs, lead the planet in wild pitches. 1-1. Hard on the ground to Goldie. Pence to third, 2 down.
Shortstop, Brandon Crawford.
Brings up Brandon Crawford, who walked his last time up. Brandon Crawford, after hitting 290 last month, down right now to about 230 here in August. Still looking for his first hit of this series. There are several of those floating around the ballpark. Right. There's Ralph. Ralph, that is an original, and so are you, sir. I was pressured into wearing that shirt in the open, and I held my ground.
Good for you. Fight back against peer pressure.
Looks good on you, though. That has the old white cap on that shirt that Ralph was wearing. The ice cream cone hat.
It's an ice cream hat.
Somewhere in Ralph's shirt you'll see that white hat. I think it's on the other side.
I'm not sure where it's at. Could be a food stain.
0-2. There's a strikeout. Ring him up and sit him down. They strand Pence at third. It's 3-0 Diamondbacks. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Don Wall Street joins us with the alumni game starting pitcher Mike Morgan when we come back.
Walsh, I have no idea where this is going. I'm joined by one of the starting pitchers, Mike Morgan. Mike, first of all, Bob Brenly just said a couple moments ago you're going to go get a lather on and throw about 150 pitches in the bullpen to get ready. Is he right?
He's probably right, because they're only going to give me 2 hitters, and I didn't fly all the way from Park City, Utah for 2 hitters, so I'm going to have to get a good lather in the bullpen.
Well, Kelly Stinnett said you've already worked on what you're going to attack Junior Spivey with to lead the game off. Is that true?
Yes, it is. We talked today. I knew he was catching me grinder, and then I said I got 2 hitters, and Junior Spivey's leading off, followed by Alex Cintron. So heater down and away. Okay. Pound his own.
We'll look for that. Stevie got a scouting report. I do want to say this on a serious note, and I want to get your take on this, Mike. You haven't been around here a lot since the World Series championship, but now we see you back last year and again this year, the fantasy camp. What does it mean to you to come back and be embraced by this organization, this family?
Wow, to make to come here last year, to be welcomed from Arizona, and then the fantasy camp, and to be back from my second trip, it's been overwhelming. Overwhelming with the organization, what they've done for me, even my guests that come with me, my little league teams, their parents, to get us in the ballpark, the fans and the teammates. So it's been overwhelming.
I can tell you this, it seems like it was yesterday in my mind's eye, the celebration on the field. And I remember talking to you, Mike, the tears of joy after all you've given to the game, to walk away that night, last man, last team standing. Do you remember that night?
I remember it, just like it was yesterday, Todd. And yeah, I had a tear, and with my wife, 33 years, Cassie, my 2 daughters, Madison and Mikhail, that aren't here tonight, but only thing missing is my wife and kids here in this event, but it's just like it was yesterday, and I miss it, but I'm very thankful for the opportunity to pitch 25 years in the game.
Well, if you're good to the game will be good to you, Mike Morgan. Enjoy yourself here tonight, okay?
Thank you, Todd. Thanks for having me.
It's great to see you. And Bob, I know this is a fascinating story. They call him Coach Mo-Man and the teams that he's coaching now. I will leave you with that, okay?
That's great. Those kids are in good hands.
Yes, they are.
Mo-Man was a regular visitor to my office.
Because
I'm ready to pitch tonight, Skip. I'm ready to go. Whether he had thrown 4 innings the night before or 9 innings spread out over 3 days, or if he hadn't pitched in a week, every day, the last place he would stop before coming out to the field. Hey, Skip, I'm ready to go. I'm good. Whatever you need tonight. Okay, Mo-Man.
22 years in the big leagues. Came up as an 18-year-old with the 1978 Oakland A's. Mike Morgan. The 4th overall pick in the 78 draft out of Valley High School in Las Vegas. 3-1 to Aaron Hill after Prado popped up to first to open up the inning. Ogasong takes something off there, and it's full.
We were talking about Tim Lincecum last night and how he's making that transition from being an overpowering fastball power pitcher to learning how to use his off-speed stuff, learning how to command the ball, take advantage of a hitter's aggressiveness. Mike Morgan went through all that in his career. He came up as a flame-throwing, can't-miss superstar prospect pitcher, got rushed to the major leagues by the Oakland Athletics, but towards the tail end of his career, he had to learn how to pitch, how to move the ball around, how to sink it and cut it, change speeds, add a little, take a little off.
I remember growing up in Boston in 1979, watching Mike Morgan give up Yaz's 400th home run. Ooh, that was a biggie. And Mike Morgan was just a baby. He was 19 years old. There's a walk to Aaron Hill. Yeah, 19 years old in 1979. Hey fans, postseason race continues throughout the month of September. Make sure you're here Saturday, September the 14th. And you'll get a Miguel Montero bobblehead. That's courtesy of our friends at Subway Restaurant, so be sure to come early. Hosting a Hispanic Heritage Day street festival presented by APS before the game. Music, food trucks, lucha libre, wrestling. Call us for tickets at 602-462-4600. Log on to dbacks.com/tickets. Don't miss Miggy Bobblehead Day coming up September 14th. And Miggy Bobblehead is in the booth and has been for the last week or so. Like to get the bobbleheads out for a good 2 or 3 week run to get them in game shape before they have their big day.
Kind of like bobblehead spring training.
Yeah, I mean, the Wade Miley Garden Gnome made the rounds. Took it to San Francisco. Alcatraz, the Goldie bobblehead, went to St. Pete. That was a shot of the Miggy bobblehead up here in the booth. Miguel Montero, base hit. Miggy 2 for 3. He was just starting to get it back when he got hurt. He was really hitting the ball well in the 10 games prior to his injury. And you sort of feel like the hole that he dug for himself, and he was really crawling out of it, that whole process kind of got interrupted for a month.
Well, Miggy was very confident in his rehab assignment. Felt like he was ready to go after a couple games of at-bats as a designated hitter, but obviously D-backs needed to see him behind the plate, see how that lower back responded, and just after a few games behind the plate, he was ready to roll.
Yeah, Miggy shut down for 24 games following July 28th, so he missed almost all of August, really. So he's going to end up playing his fewest amount of games since he played 85 back in 2010. That's a pretty big drop off from Miggy from the previous 2 years, where he played at least 140 games a year. Action in the Giants bullpen. John Machie is warming up. Aaron Hill on second, Miguel Montero at first, 1 out. Ronald Parra, RBI sac flies last time up. Parra hitting under 230 since the All-Star break. Shoots it the other way in the left. They will stop Hill at third. The bases are full of Diamondbacks with 1 out. And Cahill will hit. Dave Righetti to the mound. Aaron Hill at third, Miguel Montero at second, Gerardo Parra at first. Conference time.
Ryan Vogelsong really either upset or has a very definitive idea of what he wants to do right here, pitching to his opposite number, Trevor Cahill. Had his glove up in front of his mouth, bobbing his head as he was pleading his case to Dave Righetti.
Trevor Cahill has grounded out and laid down a very nice sacrifice bunt. He is 4 for 39 on the year. He does have a double and a triple this season, 5 RBIs. So he can run into one occasionally.
And Gibby down to the offensive side of the dugout. Every time he wants to get a few runs, he goes down there and hangs out with Wade Miley.
There's a strike, 0-1. That's sort of his shift, the Gibby shift.
Yeah, the exaggerated offensive shift.
Getting some hits in key spots. 1-1.
Well, that statistic can be a little misleading because we just saw a base hit by Gerardo Parra with a runner in scoring position, but the run didn't actually score.
They put the brakes on Aaron Hill at third to load him up, and now Cahill is ahead here, 2-1. 85 pitches for Vogelsong, 56 for strikes. Great crowd here at Chase Field on throwback night. The alumni game follows. 2-1. On the ground is short. Crawford, the backhander coming home. And they get Aaron Hill at the plate. Posey got the foot down, says Todd Tishner. Timeout.
What a play by Brandon Crawford out there at shortstop. He really had nowhere else to go with this ball. Way in the hole. Comes up firing, caught Buster Posey by surprise, but he's able to step up on the plate, field that short hop throw, and get the force at home plate. A little improvising out there by Brandon Crawford to get the lead runner at home.
So now it's bases full, 2 outs for Willie Bloomquist, who is 2 for 3, a pair of singles his last 2 times up. Conference time with Posey and Vogelsong. Willie grounded out in the first, singled in the third, RBI single in the fourth. Montero at third, Parra at second, Cahill at first. There's a strike. Missed out on a bases loaded chance last night in what turned out to be a 1-0 game. 0-1. Right back to the mound. Vogelsong bobbles it, recovers nicely, and that's the inning. Diamondbacks leave them loaded. We are through 6. They lead it 3-0.
Are you ready for what might happen down there when you hit the field?
Oh, I'm ready. It sounds like there's a lot of people with bad taste down there. That's what it sounds like to me. But, this is the first time I've been back this year. And, it's really cool. I'm having trouble keeping the giddiness inside right now. I think it shows.
Listen, you and I have talked about a lot of things very recently, obviously, but I'm just curious. What might be going through your head when you step out of the top step of that dugout in uniform here?
Well, I got to put on a uniform for the first time since I retired, doing the coaching thing this summer. Now to actually go out and compete in a uniform. The next birthday, Todd, is going to be the big 5-0, so I got to remind myself I better take it easy. Don't get too amped up because it might be my last game if I get too amped up.
Well, listen, from the class of '82, thanks for reminding me of that. One final thing, just team-wise, and this has sort of been the running theme, but when you guys get together, it is instant. It really is. It's almost like nothing has ever changed. Do you still sense that as you walk in this room?
I do. The first guy you run into is Junior Spivey, and Junior Spivey, he's still in great shape. He's not like most of the rest of us. He bear hugs me, and it takes me back to when he first got started. I was here when his first game, and then all the rest of these guys that we won championships with.
Yeah, it's something that nobody can ever take from us, Todd. We're champions the rest of our lives. From Bob Brenly, our manager, to Bob Melvin, who was the bench coach. He's been manager of the year twice. There's been so many good things to happen to all of us since 01, and I just think it's going to continue. And good for the Diamondbacks for keeping this thing going, bringing back the old guys. Young franchise, but it's still a great thing they're doing.
There's that quote again, you walk together forever. We just talked over a home run.
I just gave up. I should know better than that, Todd. I've been in the industry so long. Yeah. We just stomped all over a home run.
Well, it's usually
it's a Giants home run. I don't care.
It's usually when I'm talking anyways. Listen, I got to get out of the way. I want you to go and enjoy this moment. You and I are supposed to talk on field, and I can't wait for that because I got a feeling your legs will be shaking.
We'll have a good time.
Okay. Enjoy it. Thanks, Mark. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Giants have their first run on the board. Gregor Blanco just his second of the year. And now with the Vogelsong spot 2 up, the Giants will send up Roger Kieschnick to pinch hit. He struck out against Will Harris in a pinch hit appearance last night. Boy, Blanco got something he liked and jumped all over it there.
Wasn't much doubt about that one. Gerardo Parra turned around, went a couple steps toward that right field wall, and then realized he had no chance to catch that one. Yeah, just a middle of the plate sinker. He guessed right, got the pitch he was looking for, and rode it on out of here to right field.
Now it's Colementor warming. Kieschnick only 26 big league games. He was called up at the end of July. 222 on the year, 5 RBIs. Two and two.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Kieschnick last night. They really like the power in his bat. It hasn't played at the major league level yet, but he was a guy that hit a lot of homers in the minor leagues. Had 13 down at AAA Fresno before being called up to the major leagues. He puts on quite a show in batting practice.
Strikes out there. First out of the 7th for Trevor Cahill. Update the AT&T Twitter poll question. Talking about the alumni game here. Would you like to see a team of D-backs alum play a team of Giants alum? Whoa, 61% say no. And maybe they only want to see Gonzo in that helmet once a year and just can't take anymore.
That's plenty. Yeah, once a year's enough.
Gonzo on the radio side with Greg Schulte and Leo Gilmartin. Could be an anti-Giant sentiment.
Still want to see the Giants.
Yeah.
Although, depending, as you mentioned, obviously the Giants have a much longer history than the Arizona Diamondbacks, and depending on which alumni players they bring back, we might whoop the living daylights out of them.
Bring back Mike Aldretti and those guys. All right, that's interesting. Boy, I tell you what, the Giants orange stands out today. Not much of it, fortunately.
Yeah, usually a pretty large contingent of Giants fans here at Chase Field when the San Francisco Giants are in town. Of course, they train over in Scottsdale for spring training.
Right by Old Town.
And for a lot of people, the only baseball they knew here in the Valley was the Phoenix Giants, the AAA affiliate. I'm very fortunate to play a couple of seasons for the Phoenix Giants over at Old Municipal Stadium.
Off the glove of Cahill, and it kind of dies there in front of Aaron Hill. He's got no play, and Pagan's aboard. And the Giants will get the tying run at the plate here with 1 out in the 7th.
Right back the runway to the mound off the heel of the glove, it appeared, to Trevor Cahill. You see him in the back of your picture there. Took the glove off, shaking out that left hand. Might have hit him in that area just below the heel of the glove.
And they're going to take a look right now at Trevor Cahill. forget, he missed a month and a half after he was hit in the hip with a pitch against the Marlins. Got a right hip contusion. That one caught him right on the heel of the hand, it appears.
Assistant athletic trainer Ryan DePanfilo out there checking on Trevor Cahill. Todd Tishner right there to make sure that the conversation was all about the concern for the hand and no strategy talk.
They really police that stuff?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, what happens if Charles Nagy by the way, throw more sliders? And oh, hold on.
He would indicate to both dugouts. That's a visit. That's an official visit.
It's like the phone cops. So Pagan on first, 1 out. Scudero's up. He's 0 for 2. Hit into a double play his last time up. Trevor looking for another ground ball here and another double play. He's had 2 so far in the ball game.
Well, if he does get that double play ball he's looking for, it would be the 100th double play induced by Trevor Cahill since the 09 season started. 6th most in the majors.
Well, one thing you can be sure of, he's going to make contact. He'll hit the ball someplace here.
And Scudero is the anti-Pablo Sandoval. He rarely swings at the first pitch. Only about 11% of the time this season as he offered at that first delivery.
And he has become legendary for making contact and not striking out. Pagan takes off. Here's the throw from Miggy. And it's to the third base side of the bag. Stolen base for Angel Pagan, his 7th this year. And his first since returning from that hamstring surgery. So that, in all likelihood, erases the double play possibilities.
Had himself a big jump over there. Anytime you see that batter just pull out of the way, that's an indication that the runner at first base got such a big jump, I don't even want to get in the way. Normally he'd stay in that batter's box, maybe hold the bat out in front of Miguel Montero, try to screen his vision a little bit and then pull it back at the last instant. But Pagan got such a big jump, Scudero just stepped out of the way.
De La Rosa and Comenter left and right. 95 pitches now for Trevor Cahill, 57 for strikes. Brandon Belt, the lefty, is on deck. De La Rosa warming up in the Diamondback bullpen.
Good 2-1. Good block that time by Miggy. That's a big one. Keep that runner at second base. If he's able to advance 90 more feet with 1 out in the inning, a sac fly to the outfield will score a run.
Bounces that one. Pagan will get third.
That's just a bad break right there. Miggy was in good blocking position. Looked like that ball hit the dirt, came up and caught him on the side of the mask. Actually right in the middle of the mass, but bounces far enough away that Pagan is able to advance on to third base.
And now the Diamondbacks were in position where a Cahill ground ball might end the inning. Instead, it likely scores a run here. After the stolen base and the wild pitch. 3-1 to Scutaro.
Looks like the D-backs are willing to trade a run for an out right here, playing their infield back all the way around.
Lifted in the air to left center field. Prado and Eaton. They won't get there. It rolls to the wall. Pagan scores. And Scutaro heads for third. Cahill backing up. RBI triple for Marco Scutaro. His third triple this year. And the lead is now down to 1.
Quick abbreviated swing that time by Scutaro. Got some backspin on that ball toward the gap in left center. Long run for both Eaton out there in center and Prado in left. And Scutaro gets to second base, turns on the Jets. Hard slide into third base as the ball gets away, but fortunately Cahill right there to back it up.
And Kirk Gibson will go to Yuri De La Rosa to face the left-hander Brandon Belt. And that's going to be it here for Trevor Cahill. He leaves with a 3-2 lead, but responsible for the tying run at third. We'll be back after this.
Cahill, we talked last night about Brandon Belt and some mechanical changes he's made in his grip. On the left, you see last night, look at the top hand especially, as opposed to earlier this year in April, where he really had that top hand cranked around on the bat. And I talked about it briefly last night, but it's really kind of hard to explain without seeing it, so we're going to show you. Early in the season, Brandon Belt had the big knuckles lined up, like this, really wrapped around the bat. The Giants made a suggestion that maybe he weaken his grip a little bit by rotating it around this way and lining up the smaller knuckles. Gives you a lot more wrist action at the point of contact, and Brandon Belt has been having himself a great second half of the season after making that adjustment.
He's in there against Yuri De La Rosa. Diamondbacks infield, in on the edge of the grass, trying to cut down that run at the plate, maintain a one-run lead. 14th appearance of the season for Yuri De La Rosa. He has faced 38 batters for the Diamondbacks this year and given up only 4 hits while striking out 13. Bob mentioned the turnaround for Brandon Belt, who, as we said earlier, hit .260 the first half of the season, but he's hitting .320 since the All-Star break with 5 homers. De La Rosa jumped ahead 0-2. Scudero at third. He's the tying run. Bloomquist at short. Hill at second. In on the grass. Yuri De La Rosa has become one of the real finds in this Diamondback bullpen.
He's been effective against everybody, but especially against the opposing lefties.
1-2. Just missed there. It's even. De La Rosa last worked Wednesday against the Padres. Pitched 1 inning, had 2 strikeouts. He has in fact struck out 6 of the last 9 batters he's faced over his last 2 appearances. And a strikeout here, obviously, with Scudero at third, would be enormous. 2-2. Out of play. There's the strikeout. He got him. Ring him up and sit him down. 2 outs. Here comes Posey. Miguel Montero to the mound, and here comes the skipper. He wants the right-hander to face Posey. Yuri De La Rosa comes in and does a marvelous job. He gets his man with a big strikeout. Belt not able to put the ball in play, keeping Scudero on third with 2 outs. Josh Colmenter will come in, and he'll face Buster Posey. Yuri De La Rosa, 1 batter and 1 big strikeout. Pitching change. Chase will be back in a moment. Tying run is at third with 2 outs, and on for the Diamondbacks for the 40th time this year. Josh Colmenter, no reliever in the National League, has thrown more innings this season than Josh Colmenter. He's worked almost 79 innings, 74 strikeouts, and just 63 hits. He'll work to Buster Posey with Scudero at third and 2 outs. Posey 1 for 3. He singled in the first. Good career numbers against Colmenter. 0-1. These two have seen each other before. July 20th at AT&T Park to dead center field. Oh, and 2. Cole last worked Tuesday against the Padres and to come in early in relief of David Holmberg. He worked 3 1/3 innings of one-hit ball, had 4 strikeouts. Look at those numbers right there. 20 strikeouts in 15 2/3. He's ahead here, 0 and 2. Base hit, the game is tied.
That time it was a case of missed location. Miguel Montero had really moved in underneath the hands of Buster Posey. They wanted to come up and in. The pitch strays up and out over the plate. Posey just tomahawks it into right field for an RBI base hit.
Hunter Pence, he's 2 for 3. Singled his last time up. Out in front there, it's 0-1. Now 10 hits for the Giants, 9 for the Diamondbacks. Trevor Cahill did an outstanding job but ran out of gas here in the 7th. A homer to Blanco to lead off the inning. He struck out the pinch hitter Kieschnick. Single by Pagan off the hand of Cahill. Stolen base in a wild pitch. Scudero tripled. And now Posey has delivered Scudero from third to tie the ball game. 0-2 to Hunter Pence. That will get down in the gap in right center. Posey heads for third. Another hit for the Giants. Hunter Pence is 3 for 4.
That time, in my eyes, it was more a case of pitch selection than pitch location. He had gotten Pence to flail at 2 changeups to start the sequence, tried to throw a waste pitch fastball, but unfortunately got it too close to that strike zone, and Hunter Pence tomahawks one into right center field for a base hit.
And Cole Mentor came into the ball game with a tying run at third. Now he's in there with a go-ahead run at third, and still 2 outs. Pablo Sandoval, 1 for 3, singled in the 4th.
Watch that first pitch.
It's as predictable as the Tides. 5 hits in the inning for the Giants.
Well, and that is a good location on Sandoval, up above the belt. He's a good low ball hitter, as he's shown earlier in this game. Got that base hit back in the 4th inning on a pitch that was about to bounce in the dirt. But he will chase that high fastball up above the belt, up around his hands. Like that.
Nicely done. 0-2. This was the Panda in the 4th.
Talk about going down and digging it out.
Kind of got that Vlad Guerrero strike zone.
On deck circle to on deck circle.
Cole Mentor ahead 0-2. Posey at third. Pence at first.
Another fastball right in on his hands that time.
Hunter Pence is so big down there, he almost makes Goldie look small.
So they're going to try to go up with another fastball, this time away.
How do you get a guy like this out?
Well, especially when you're ahead in a count like this, 0-2, you don't have to throw him another strike. A good Josh Cole Mentor change up that bounces out in front of the home plate. Scoot that fastball up just a little bit higher. He'll swing at just about anything with 2 strikes. That pitch was right down the middle of the plate. He missed his spot by a wide margin that time and got away with it.
Saw Miggy's hand. He wanted it up there. 0-2. Wants it up there again. Not quite getting it up high enough.
Well, he should have him set up for that changeup, but like I said, it shouldn't be in the strike zone. Shouldn't even be close to the strike zone. Bounce it out in front of home plate. He'll still chase that pitch.
Hunter Pence will take second. th stolen base of the year for Pence. 1-2 to the Panda. Right back to the mound. They strand the go-ahead runs, but the Giants get 3 in the inning, and it's a 3-3 ball game on throwback night at Chase Field.
You in part by Ram Trucks, proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Throwback night here at Chase Field. Now a 3-3 ball game. Giants and Diamondbacks as we start the home half of the 7th. And we go to the bullpen here. It's Joe Borowski. Boy, Joe, this was a classic Trevor Cahill ball game. Just the way you'd want to draw it up. A lot of ground balls, some key double plays, and then suddenly kind of hit the wall there in the top of the 7th.
Absolutely did. And you have to kind of look back, and was it maybe that he had that long he had the relief appearance. So he didn't build it up. Maybe he just hit a wall because his stamina wasn't there since it was a while since his last start. The possibilities, I'm sure we'll find out after the game when we talk to him, but it just seemed like he really just lost it there in that inning.
Yeah, it bounced a couple of balls.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this was a textbook Trevor Cahill ball game up through 6. This is exactly the way you'd want it to go, right?
Yeah, I thought he looked very sharp first 6 innings, got ground ball double plays when needed. But after leaving up that changeup for the home run, it just seemed like, all right, he was going to get back after that strikeout, but then he seemed to lose it right there.
Jose Mohara is the new pitcher for the Giants, the left-hander against Adam Eaton, Paul Goldsman, and Eric Chavez, 2, 3, and 4. Eaton 1 for 3, singled in the 3rd. Mohara has had a rough time of it as of late. His last 12 2/3, he's given up 14 runs. Yeah, it was a big out there by Colementer to strand those 2 runs. Keep it a tie ball game at least. Well, you know, I'll tell you what, Joe, every time I see Yuri De La Rosa, I like him more.
Yeah, each time out there, he's just gaining more and more confidence. You see he's putting the ball where he wants to now. He's just more consistent with his location. And in turn, with him going out there and doing the job, Gibby's getting more and more confidence in him, and he's not afraid to run him out there.
Eaton strikes out. First strikeout for Maharis. Here comes Goldie. Yeah, I mean, Matt Reynolds was gangbuster to start the year.
Yeah.
Then he got hurt. Then Tony Sipp kind of struggled. And De La Rosa has come out of nowhere and solved a lot of issues from the left-hand side in that bullpen.
A lot of times in baseball, you get your opportunities from where other people either injuries or where they fail, and that's your opportunity to shine and to prove that you belong in these big spots. You belong in the big leagues, and he's making the most of it right now.
We saw Matt Reynolds, who did such a terrific job earlier this year for the Diamondbacks. 19 straight scoreless appearances to open the year until he got hurt.
Yeah, one thing we know for sure about De La Rosa, he's not scared. I mean, he goes out there and challenges. He's got a fastball that sits in the high 80s. Got a breaking ball, and he comes in firing strikes. Here it is. See if you can hit it.
Well, let's see if Goldie can get a hold of one here. He's ahead 2-0. He's 0 for 2. He walked in the third. The numbers for Goldie against the Giants have not been this year what we've seen before.
Well, he's got enough games to improve upon those numbers against the Giants. We go to San Francisco after Toronto comes to town for 3 games next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We head up to the Bay Area.
We'll visit our friends the Seagulls. Mardi Gras here at the ballpark. Ball 4. 1 out walk for Goldschmidt. Here's Eric Chavez. Goldie walks for the second time tonight. Chavez 0 for 3, still looking for his first base hit since he came off the DL. Joe, you expecting big performances pitching-wise in the alumni game?
I'm just hoping nobody gets injured during the alumni game. I understand how difficult it is when you don't pick up a ball regularly and throw it around. Let alone, everybody, you're a little bit older now. It's not that easy. If I was ever going to go out there and do one of those, I'd have to work out for 8 months before I was ready.
I have 2 words for you: scar tissue.
You're not lying.
0-1. Especially when they spent the whole game up there, eating like it's the last days of Rome. And get out there, roll out the balls.
Yeah, there's a good chance if you can't get here to Chase Field to see the alumni game, you could probably go to the closest emergency room, and they'll be lined up there in a matter of hours.
Well, that guy's got a target on his back.
Well, he's earned it.
Pretty young player.
1-1 to Chavez. Opponent sitting 311 versus Jose Maharis this year. That's 3rd highest among National League relievers.
A lot of that damage done by right-handed hitters. They're hitting over 350 against Maharis. Lefties hitting just over 250.
1-2. Gets the called strike from Todd Tishnor. 2 down in the 7th. Martin Prado, Bruce Bochy to the mound first. Pitching change with Goldie at first and 2 down. We'll take a break. Backs had a 3-run fourth, and Miguel Montero got it going with an RBI single. Gerardo Parra sacrifice fly to drive in another run, and then Willie Bloomquist made it 3-0. Giants have since tied it, but the Diamondbacks with a big inning. Those are our Ram Trucks tools of the trade, trying for one more here with Goldie at first and 2 outs. Don't forget, fans, throwback night here at Chase Field, wearing the 1999 and 2000 colors, and you can bid on these actual game-worn, autographed, and authenticated jerseys online at dbacks.com/auction. You can buy the jersey that Martin Prado was wearing right there, and the bidding is wide open right now. You can bid until 4 o'clock tomorrow on these jerseys. They are autographed, they are authenticated, and they are available online at dbacks.com/auction. New pitcher for the Giants, John Machie. He'll come in to face Prado with Goldie at first and 2 down.
Fastball splitter combination from Machie. Occasional slider to a right-handed hitter, but he's basically going to live with the heater and the splitter.
Prado 2 for 3, singled in the second, doubled and scored in the fourth. We were talking earlier, Joe, about how do you pitch to Pablo Sandoval, who's swinging everything. How do you pitch to Prado here, who's hitting everything?
This is tough right now, and this is not the guy that you want to be. Well, this isn't the guy you want in this situation, but you'll take it being a man on first. You'd rather make him hit your pitches right now. You'd rather live and die with Aaron Hill, who's up next, because Martin Prado is pretty much hitting everything right now. He's a guy who's just seeing the ball great.
Splitter got away that time. Prado hitting .360 in the month of August. That's 6th in the National League. He's got 42 hits, which is tied for 1st in the National League for the month.
And with Goldie on first last night, hit that unlucky double play ball. Jumps on that one and rolls it into left. 2 on and 2 outs in the 7th. And there you go, Joe. Now he will live and die with Aaron Hill.
Yeah, and you see, there's just right now there's not many places that are holes in Martin Prado's swing. That pitch up and in right there, and he still finds a way to get it through the hole.
Prado 3 for 4. Here's Aaron Hill, who's been on base twice tonight. He singled and scored in the 4th. Walked his last time up. Aaron at .315 on the year. He's hitting over .370 in August. Go ahead, run at second, 2 down. close.
You see, they want to keep Goldschmidt as close to second as they possibly can. In case Aaron Hill does hit this into the outfield, they have a chance at the plate. And Aaron, as we all know, likes to hit the ball to left field, so it's important for goalie to get a good jump if Aaron does put it in play here.
And along those lines, if he can get it over Pagan's head in center, he can run around the bases twice. Javier Lopez, the left-hand specialist, is up. You got Montero and Parra coming up after Hill.
But the numbers Aaron Hill has put up in the month of August, as you might expect, with runners in scoring position, he's been really good as well. 11 for 28. That's a .393 average with runners in scoring position this month.
This one into center. Pagan was playing shallow, and he makes a tumbling catch to end the inning. Angel Pagan has been a thorn in the Diamondback side in this series since he came off the DL, and he makes a big play there. Joe, thanks. We'll see you on Diamondbacks Live after the ball game.
Score some runs.
We're still tied up. Fun times. The Ram Trucks Pool, great place to watch a game, especially on a Saturday night on Throwback Night with the alumni game coming up afterward. Hey fans, the video game that puts you in the owner's suite is now available free on iPhone and iPad. Build your own stadium, make the decisions to guide your team to the World Series. Download MLB Ballpark Empire. It's free today for iPhone or iPad. Sounds like an HBO series.
Yeah, it does.
Brandon Crawford leads off the 8th in a 3-3 ball game. 11 hits for the Giants, 10 for the Diamondbacks. D-backs got 3 in the 4th. Giants answered with 3 in the 7th. Driven down the right field line. That ball was crushed but fouled. Brandon Crawford has shown some power, but not for a while. He had 5 home runs in April. Josh Coleman, how's that for efficiency? Crawford 5 homers in April, but since then he's hit only 3 in 100 games. And Crawford's 5 homers the first month of the season especially noteworthy because he hit only 4 all of last year. Just saw him turn on one there. Just threw his bat at the ball there.
That's the Bill Buckner special right there. Billy Buckner was as good as any hitter I had ever seen in 2-strike counts. Just throwing his bat at the ball if he had to. Anything to stay alive in the at-bat, and that's what Crawford does here. Got fooled by that changeup. Tried to really extend his swing, stay back as long as he could, and just lost a handle on the bat.
It worked. He's still alive up there. And that'll do that. First strikeout for Cole Mencher. One down to open the 8th. There's Gregor Blanco, homer to lead off the 7th. That was the first Giant run. They added 2 more. This was Blanco to open the 7th against Trevor Cahill.
It really kind of opened the floodgates after the leadoff homer by Blanco. Struck out Kieschnick as the pinch hitter, but then gave up a single, a triple, gave way to the bullpen. Ultimately, Buster Posey with an RBI base hit. But it all started with this guy.
And it's interesting because Blanco is 63 points better at home this season than on the road. Hitting better than 280 at AT&T Park, but he's a 220 hitter in road games this year. But he got him started in the 7th. Bring him up, set him down. 2 strikeouts for Josh Colmenter to open the 8th.
Wow, just hammering away at that strike zone. Boy, timing is everything for Josh Colmenter and Miguel Montero. When do you throw the changeup? When do you throw the fastball? He does have that curve that he'll drop in there on occasion, but basically it's just a 2-pitch mix. Brett Pill will take the at-bat now for the pitcher spot.
Down and lifts it into left. Sprado. Nice work by Josh Colmenter. A 1-2-3-8. We are all tied on throwback night at Chase Field. Cox Communications and Fry's Food Stores is ready to take you to a D-backs game. Stop by this month's participating Fry's Food Store in Cottonwood, and you can enter to win 2 seats on the Fan Express bus. You get round-trip transportation to the D-backs game September 29th. For more information, visit foxsportsarizona.com. Kurt Warner in the house. 3-3 ball game. Good one.
Hey, before we get underway here in the bottom half of the 8th, we want to extend happy birthday wishes to Tom Candiotti.
Oh, well, let's get a shot of him in the radio, but wait a minute. He's not working today.
It's his birthday.
So? Javier Lopez is out there for the Giants. He's busy preparing for tomorrow's big fantasy football draft.
There you go.
Running a series of mock drafts as commissioner.
Shares a birthday with Hall of Famer Frank Robinson and Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald.
Miguel Montero. Miggy 2 for 3, couple of singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Diamondbacks trying to turn their luck around against the Giants at Chase Field. San Fran has won 10 of its last 12 here. Brad Ziegler warming.
And you don't even have to look. You know the Giants have somebody warming. So once that starter leaves the game, Bruce Bochy, we talked about it throughout this series. He's liable to play matchups through the rest of the ball game as Miggy goes down on strikes. I think some of that comes from the fact that Boch spent most of his career as a backup catcher, and back in the day you didn't really have bullpen catchers, so if you weren't starting the game you were warming up pitchers all day in the bullpen. I think he has maybe a little better grasp of how to handle the bullpen maybe than a manager that came from a position or was an everyday player and didn't spend the time in the bullpen that Bruce Bochy has spent down there.
And that's something fans might not be aware of. Every team now has guys. It's their job to be down there and warm guys up. You have Mark Reed down there.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a full-time job because you have the starters that have to throw sessions between their starts. You've got guys that are working on some things. They need to maybe just throw 10 or 15 pitches in the bullpen, working on a new pitch or a new release or something in their mechanics. Then you warm up the starting pitcher that day. Then you get all the relief pitchers that happen to come into the ball game.
Jeff Matuzis and Mark Reed, the Diamondbacks bullpen catchers, and they work as hard here as anybody all spring and season long.
Matuz is a lifer. He's been here since the beginning, along with Glenn Sherlock down in that Diamondbacks bullpen. There's Sherles.
Looks like Brad is ready to go. 2-0 to Parra.
Seems like we say this about every other day, but this can't be a comfortable at bat for a left-handed hitter. Low arm angle, kind of a crossfire from Lopez. not overpowering by any stretch of the imagination, but with the deception he has in his delivery and that crossfire action, very tough for a left-handed hitter to pick the ball up.
And as it is, Parr is about 80 points better against right-hand pitching than versus lefties. 2-2. Can't pick it up there. 2 strikeouts for Lopez. And A.J. Pollock will hit for the pitcher. Josh Comenter, who came on and has been rolling along lately out of that bullpen, is our APS Energy All-Star. Couple of big strikeouts there in the 8th. And Bruce Bochy is out to the mound.
What a shock.
Pitching change in a 3-3 ball game. Don't go anywhere. It's on sale right now. You can enjoy exclusive benefits, including postseason priority, flexible 12-month payment option, and a plan that's just right for you. And hey, if you can't make all 81 home games, we get it. Check out a half-season or weekend plan. And also, you can still go all in. Don't miss a single moment of action. Buy or renew for 2014 and guarantee postseason priority by calling 602-462-4600 or log on to dbacks.com/tickets. New pitcher for the Giants is Sandy Rosario. He will face A.J. Pollock, who hits for the pitcher. Rosario's given up 8 runs, 7 earned in his last 16 1/3. A.J. 1 for 3, started last night. Looks at a ball, 1-0.
Fastball, slider, changeup combination from Rosario. Generally uses just the fastball and the slider. If he's asked to throw extended innings, you'll see him mix in the changeup.
Excuse me, check swing. Scudero in short right has it. And that's the inning. We head to the 9th in a tie game at Chase Field. Crowd goes wild with Regis Philbin and a cast of former athletes and journalists that will talk about things you won't hear on other shows. Sports Talk just got a whole lot more colorful. Crowd goes wild weekdays, 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. It's Regis and he's out of control.
That's pretty good.
Brad Ziegler on. We saw Brad pitch an inning last night in the ball game. It's Z time. Fire up the Z can. His 67th appearance of the year. He worked an inning last night, faced 4 hitters, had a strikeout and hit a batter. Talked to Brad. He's been throwing a lot of pitches lately, and he admitted he was pretty gassed, but he's had a chance to a couple of days off. Had a relatively short outing last night. He threw 16 pitches, so he's feeling a lot better these days. He'll work to the leadoff man, Angel Pagan, who singled and scored his last time. We saw the toll that all that work had taken on Brad. It's kind of his version of complete games almost if he goes more than a dozen pitches or so. He threw a season-high 33 last Wednesday in Cincinnati, then topped that with 38 in the 18-inning game at Philadelphia a week ago today. 23 pitches when he ran into trouble Tuesday against the Padres. And this is a guy that usually throws about 12, 16, 18 pitches max. And he had that stretch of 3 outings in which he threw a total of 94 pitches. So that's a lot for him.
He's had pretty good success against the first 2 hitters due up here in the inning. Marco Scutaro in the on-deck circle, 2 for 9 lifetime. Angel Pagan at the plate now, 0 for 7. Make it 0 for 8.
Right to Goldie, 1 away. Brings up Scutaro, who had an RBI triple and scored a run in the 7th. We mentioned this when we were in San Francisco. Marco Scutaro says his right leg is actually a half-inch shorter than his left leg. And that causes his back issues to flare up now and again. He's got some special shoes that he uses to correct the problem. Right cleat has a centimeter thick layer of rubber between the insole and the sole, so it's really causing him problems, but he's pretty sure he's got it worked out. Says as long as his legs are even, he's fine.
I was trying to think of how that would affect your swing if you didn't compensate by modifying your shoe. You know, the backside would be a little lower than the front side, causing you with an uppercut swing. Be a fly ball hitter. I don't know.
With a bad back.
Yeah, with a bad back. Oh.
2-1.
Where was that?
Todd Tishner, the plate umpire. Oh, yeah, you'll take that pitch every time.
That's where you want Brad Ziegler to pitch with that sidearm sinker.
Willie Bloomquist, pretty backhander off the short hop, 2 down. Here's our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the day, and we go across the streets, the Legends Entertainment District, and the latest legend, my partner Bob Renly.
Drum roll, please.
Ta-da! And you can hear the reception from the crowd was fantastic.
I'm telling you. Very well-behaved crowd, I might add. Everybody was very nice.
That's quite an honor out there, boy. Now, I think I asked you this last time. Are you going to have to change your route to the ballpark to drive by that every day?
I just have to look at it in my rearview mirror because usually I'm, let me think, where am I at here? Yeah, coming across the bridge on 7th Street to come around the back of the ballpark. So, yeah, I'll see it in reverse in my mirror.
Brandon Belt.
I might just pitch a tent right across the street from him.
Kind of like a sit-in.
Yeah. Occupy Chase.
Best in a million universes. 2-1. Ooh. Just a little bit out in front of that one.
Seems like we mentioned this every time Brad Ziegler comes into a game. That changeup has been a really good weapon for him. A pitch he did not even throw in the early part of the season. He was just sinking fastball slider.
Puts that in the air to right field. Parra. Brad Ziegler works a 1-2-3 ninth, and we head to the bottom of the ninth with the top of the order coming up. It's 3-3 in the bottom of the ninth at Chase Field. The Reds at Coors Field, Colorado, have beaten the Rockies 8-3. Phillips, Votto 2 RBIs apiece. Ludwig as well. The Dodgers right now hosting the Padres. San Diego leads that game 1-0 in the seventh. So the Reds have won, and the Diamondbacks need this one to keep pace for that second National League wild card. They'll have the top of the order up in the home half of the ninth. Bloomquist, Eaton, Goldschmidt, 1, 2, and 3.
Need a runner, Willie. Get somebody on there.
Sandy Rosario back out there for the Giants.
Willie trying to end it right there on that first pitch. Got a high fastball off the plate inside. Tried to pull it right down that third baseline out of here.
Willie singled in the third and fourth. He's got an RBI. Well, grit never quits.
That's right.
Two and one. Mind a walk-off on throwback night, headed into the alumni game. Kind of set a nice tone.
That sounds good to me.
Bloomquist is aboard. He's got his third hit, and the winning run is on with nobody out.
Well, we see Tony Campana run for Willie Bloomquist tonight. Tony Campana, kind of the secret weapon off the bench. No sign of a pinch runner yet.
Of course, Campana came in a pinch run last night, and not only did he not steal or attempt to steal, he didn't even really get a big lead. This is somewhat conservative play last night in a 1-0 game. Here's Adam Eaton, singled in the third. So it's Bloomquist aboard with a leadoff single. He's the winning run. Sandoval well in on the grass at third.
Buster Posey a little casual receiving that first delivery to Adam Eaton right there. A lot of late movement on that sinker. He almost boxed that one into the on-deck circle.
Mentioned that the Reds have won. They beat the Rockies 8-3, so the gap right now is 6.5. Diamondbacks need a win to get it back to 6. Eaton gets the bunt down. Belt has one play. Scudero covers, and Bloomquist moves to second. Winning run in scoring position with one out, and here comes Goldie. He is 0 for 2. He has walked twice. First base is open. And they are having no part of Paul Goldschmidt. Hard to blame him.
Yeah, it really is hard to blame him, especially given the fact that Eric Chavez hasn't totally gotten untracked since coming back off the disabled list. If he was swinging the bat right now the way he was before he got hurt, it would make it a much tougher decision whether to walk Goldie and go after the left-handed hitter.
And the funny thing about Rosario is left-hand batters only 9 for 49 against him, so he handles lefties pretty well. We'll see if he gets to face Chavez here after one more ball to Goldie. There's the intentional walk. 2 on, 1 out. Dave Righetti. Bloomquist at second, Goldschmidt at first. Eric Chavez steps in. He is 0 for 4. He struck out looking his last time up. He is hitless in 14 plate appearances since his return from the DL.
I think based on the at-bats we've seen in this series by Eric Chavez, they're going to go after him with a lot of hard stuff. I think they don't want to make a mistake with anything off speed, middle of the plate in. Well, Eric can pull that ball hard into right field.
Drives it to center. That gets down. And come on in, Willie. The Diamondbacks are walking off.
Did go after him with hard stuff, but Chavez was ready for it. Got a fastball out over the plate. Down a little bit, right where he likes it. Put a real nice swing on that one, and nobody's going to catch it.
5th career walk-off for Eric Chavez, and the Diamondbacks, their 12th walk-off win this year. That's the most in the major leagues. And their 30th win in their final at-bat. Got dirt, we got it. We got grit. And we're still alive in the National League postseason race. Let's go downstairs. Todd Walsh is with the walk-off winner.
Oh, look out. There we go. Oh, actually, I need some gums. Thank you. Yeah, that's the double. I haven't seen that yet this year. Congratulations, Eric. You wear it well.
Thanks.
Well, let's talk about this. An intentional walk in front of you. You're a professional athlete. There's some pride there, isn't there?
I would have walked him too.
Yeah,
that's Goldie.
Oh. But you still have to come up with it.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I've stunk ever since I've come back from the DL. So I knew I was going to walk him. Like I said, I would have walked him too, but just try to stay aggressive, get a good pitch, and I didn't miss it.
Let's talk about this team and your ability to do this. I mean, this is something special. You've been in this league a while. What is it about this group, Eric?
You know, I don't know. Late innings, we just put together good at bats, and you know, we never die. And you know, we're going to try to give it a good shot here the last 29 games and give it all we got.
There is something else going on here tonight, obviously, and this says it all right here, the purple, teal, and black. I know you weren't here, but you get a sense of what it's all about here. It's more than a color, as I'd like to say.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of energy in the ballpark tonight. It was nice, and bringing back some of the ex-guys, and, you know, the crowd was great tonight. Appreciate it. Don't give up. We're not going to give up. Let's have a good month.
I'm going to end it on that. Can't get any better than that. Enjoy it, Eric. Chavez going inside the Arizona Diamondbacks dugout. Jody, this is the first time I've seen this happen. I'm usually watching you. This is actually really mud. All right, we're getting set for the alumni game. I'm going to send it to you, and we've got much more to come here on Fox Sports Arizona, of course.
All right, thanks a lot.